Hello, my name is Stephen Meadows. This is my presentation of my capstone project for spring of 2019. This project has been pretty much brewing in my brain ever since I started this program. From the techniques in the classes that I take, I was shown different aspects of what ArcGIS could do, and I used those bits of information to help me generally figure out where I wanted to live. I took the data and I crunched the numbers and figured out what I wanted. This project has been brewing ever since my first course. I decided I wanted to emphasize 4 different methodologies that I was taught, and those would be the dot density methodology, JINX methodology, the hotspot analysis in the nearest facility. Starting with the first of 4, the first one I chose was the JINX, the dot density matrix. I make dot density methodology, I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. What I did is I went to the U.S. Census website, downloaded the Tiger data, and created my shapefile and joined the data for the social demographic information to it. I chose 5 categories, although there was multiple categories. For this to be an effective presentation, I wanted to have only 5 instead of the 13, I believe, that are in the file, because if there was 13 it would have been too many, so I narrowed it down to 5. Those would be white, black, Asian, Latino or Latin, and other being ones that they didn't necessarily classify. The rest of the data in this particular block, it was a block data, not track data. The blocks, the data, the numbers that were left over were insignificant. They were significant in the fact that they were there, but they became irrelevant in the presentation. So I chose those and created a dot density map, and that would be on figure 1. It showed that the social demographic information in this particular area, which happens to be the West 18th Apartments in Houston, Texas, is basically boiled down to white and Latin descent, or Caucasian and Latino. The rest of the races showed up, but not in as many numbers. And that's where that particular map came from. The second map I chose to do a JINX methodology, and I wanted to show the income in this particular area. Again, I used the census data and the block information to be able to get this methodology shown. The JINX, I chose 5 classes again because the spread between the highest and lowest income didn't show the best with having more than 5 categories. With that, it shows that this particular complex falls within the next to lowest category, whereas the blocks to the east are higher in income, which would also relate to the higher income values, higher property values, because it's in the higher area of for your taxes and property values, which was interesting to see. Now there was some areas in both in this particular some of the block null information, and I didn't understand why that happened, but it was outside of 2 blocks from where my complex was at, so they were basically irrelevant. Okay, the third one was a hotspot analysis of crime data that I got the crime data from the Houston Police Department. And with that data they gave me just addresses and major crimes. So what I had to do with that was geocode all the addresses and rank the crimes, or give the crimes a specific number. There were 7 crimes, and each crime gave its own individual number. And then whenever I ran the hotspot analysis, I used that as my field to generate the map that you see in Figure 3. Now, it also shows that to the east of where we're at, there's some more crime that happens in that area, more so than the area that I live in right now, which was also surprising. I expected it to be higher, but it wasn't. Finally, the last maps that I generated was the nearest facility map, and I used that. I wanted that to know where's the nearest grocery store. So I went to the food stamp the food stamp database that shows where all the grocery stores and where it accepts the EBT card of the food stamp card, so that you could buy your groceries if you were given a food stamp card. That was the only database I could find that actually gave me addresses of stores without actually either compiling the list myself or buying one. And of course, being a poor student, I couldn't do that. So I used that one. It happened to be an older list. It wasn't current, but my data still, some of those stores, most of those stores were still there, and was able to generate the maps that I wanted to use. There was only, there were no stores within 2 miles of this complex. No grocery stores that accepted the Lone Star card. The nearest one was about 2.1 miles away, so that became the deciding factor of what my first map was, and that would be Figure 4. But they only came up with 3 results. So, as most people, they like to have choices, I decided to expand the search radius to 5 miles so that I could then generate more stores, because I knew they were out there. And it came out with many more stores than what I thought there was, at least for that accepted the Lone Star card. And that would be Figure 5. In the simulation, what this would be that you would take these particular maps and you would hand them to your client and say, here's the information, or show them the information, explain it to them, and go about your business, collect your money, get rich, yay. So that's the synopsis of what's going on there. That's it, yeah, I'm done. Hey, look, I'm wearing a school shirt. I think I should get bonus points for that.